Hello everyone, it's Dylan from Yugioh Everything, and welcome back to another Yugioh Zexal episode review. Today we will be going over Yugioh Zexal episode 3. Every Sunday I review an episode of Zexal subbed, and what did I think of episode 3? I thought it was a pretty okay episode. I enjoyed it, definitely not as much as I will enjoy as Zexal episodes in the future. I remember this is the part, the first 8 or 9 episodes until Kaito shows up was always a section that gets kind of, Zexal doesn't get off to the fastest of starts, I think. I've always kind of been a believer of that, and that's because the people in the Numbers Club were never characters that I really enjoyed. Caswell in this episode was the one introduced us, the class rep, which I didn't really... his character was okay. He actually defeats Yuma in a duel. And before we get into the episode review itself, I do want to go over one change that the dub made to the sub, which I do in the beginning of all these reviews, and that is when Caswell and Yuma do duel in this episode, the English dub claims that it is Caswell's first turn and that he OTKs Yuma, whereas the original never states that it was Caswell's first turn, and you're kind of more inclined to believe that the duel had been going on for a little bit. Regardless, Caswell still does beat Yuma without taking a single point of damage. So early on in this episode, again, it just further demonstrates how not amazing of a duelist Yuma is. I mean, he doesn't even get a point of damage on Caswell, who isn't, supposed to be this incredible duelist. I guess early on you don't really know his dueling abilities. But before that duel takes place, we see the city get infected with this virus appear, which is a crash bug monster. And what's interesting is Caswell actually uses this crash bug virus, the same virus monster that we see at the very beginning of this episode. So very early on, you're pretty inclined to believe that Caswell could have been behind these hacks and the virus shut down all the internet access, all the traffic lights, and Yumas Sister was very heartbroken because she lost the big project, the big news story, as she is a news reporter that she was working on because the virus shut down all the internet servers, and so she wants to find out who this is and to stop them, not only to get revenge, but she brings up a good point to Yuma, whereas if this was taken a step further and all the bank data was erased and all the hospital data was erased, the entire city would be thrown into huge, gigantic panic, and she's absolutely right. So she convinces Yuma and Kotari to stake out in the library. This is after the duel against Caswell, to try to find who was behind these hacks. We see Caswell come in with his computer, and he looks very nervous, and it looks like he's kind of guilty. Even Kotari says to Yuma, she's like, he looks very suspicious, which he absolutely did. Yuma sees him put in the crash bug virus, and immediately Yuma calls him out, and he actually has tears in his eyes when he realizes what he did. He was kind of baited and accidentally put in this crash bug virus, according to him. So he's claiming he's innocent. But he does find where the actual signal was coming from, and so they go to this big giant tower, and the signal was actually coming from their teacher, who was being possessed by a number. Sensei Yugioh, I believe that was his name, Mr. K in the English dub. And it sucks because this is a guy who gave I thought, a really good speech when Caswell beat Yuma, telling Yuma, not to give up, and losing is completely fine as long as you learn from that experience, which he was absolutely right about. And Yuma, right after that scene, was talking to Kotari about how he's going to be just like the professor, he's going to be just like Sensei Yugioh when he grows up, and he's a great guy. And Yuma even jokes around about it later. He's like, geez, this is the guy that I was praising, because Yugioh goes completely insane. But you even see in the beginning of this episode, you see the outline of number 34, and Astral comes back, and Astral says, this guy's being possessed by a number, we have to defeat him to save him, his heart's being consumed by it. So clearly, just like Shark was possessed by a number, the numbers, even though they do contain Astral's memories, there's still a lot of things we don't know about these numbers, because now this is 2 instances where numbers have caused characters to go a little insane. Shark went insane, and now this character was trying to hack into the entire, not even hack into the entire thing, just throw everything into chaos by breaking into the security servers and planting a virus and shutting down everything, which, by the way, the episode we reviewed yesterday, episode 3 of 5Ds, that had a timer when Yusei was trying to get out the escape hatch. This episode also has a timer before the big crash bug virus does go off and assumingly shuts down everything in Heartland. So I thought that was actually kind of cool, the similarities between episode 3 of 5Ds and Zexal, in the case that they both had some sort of a timer. This duel actually is going to continue into the next episode, so I thought the duel itself was okay. Yugioh ends up XZ summoning, which also the theme when, like, the bad characters XZ summon, I love that theme. The music when that happens is amazing, and I think that's music that's used throughout Zexal. I haven't seen the first, 20, 30 episodes of Zexal subbed, so I didn't think that was a soundtrack that came in until later in Zexal. I'm surprised that was one of the early soundtracks, because that, to me, is one of the best OSTs in Zexal. And he XZ summons number 34, computer terabyte, something along those lines. It has 2900 defense, and every overlay unit it uses, I think it can use once per turn. It can take control of one of Yuma's level 4 or below monsters. So in this case, he takes control of Yuma's Go 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 Golem, he destroys Gaga Magician, and Yuma's field's completely wide open. I think Yuma will get control back of Go 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 Golem, but to get over a monster with 2900 defense is not going to be easy, but he does have Leviathan Dragon, the monster he got from Shark, so because of that, I believe if you use your both overlay units, that monster will get 3000 attack, so he does have a chance to summon that monster and to get over this number 34 monster that Yugioh played. So it'll be interesting to see what happens in the next episode. All in all, I thought it was an alright episode of Yugioh Zexal. The humor I thought was pretty good between Astral and Yuma. Astral's observations were pretty funny. He's just trying to learn about humans, and that humans have to eat and then use the restroom. That whole exchange was kind of humorous. And Astral also strangely disappears. He disappears into the key, into the Yuma's necklace, the key to unlocking the door, the key to actually unlocking Astral. And Astral sees this weird circular object. It looks very big, almost like a spaceship of some sort, or a device of some sort. I even think Astral says it's a device, and he's in the device and he's trying to figure out what it even is. He has got no idea what it is. So that was an interesting scene, and I'm sure that object is going to be very important. I mean, that object is literally in the necklace, in Yuma's necklace, the same necklace that summoned Astral, so I'm sure that is going to be a very, very important necklace going forward. But anyway, guys, episode 3 of Zexal, I remember the early stages of Zexal wasn't my favorite part of Zexal, but I thought episode 3 was okay. I didn't, hate it or anything. I'm hoping episode 4 is going to be a little better. I think we're going to get more dueling action, and I just want to, the truth is, I know how great a lot of the secondary characters are in Zexal, with the Arclight brothers and Kaito especially, and that's just to name a few. That's not even mentioning the Baryons, which come a lot later. So I think I'm really just excited to see all of them, and because I know how good all of those characters are, it kind of takes away from these early characters a bit. And if I wasn't, if I was watching Zexal for the first time through, then maybe I'd be a little more invested in these characters. But it's hard to be invested in the characters when when you already have kind of like a preconceived perception of them, if that makes any sense. But regardless, even with that, I still didn't mind the episode, and I did enjoy episode 3. So, thank you so much for watching. Please leave all your thoughts on this episode down below. I really do look forward to talking to you all. A big thank you to my Platinum patrons, Christopher, Johannes, Bouska, Alexa Baker, D01, Jorge Carrillo, James Rose, and Glen McGookin. And a big thank you to my Diamond tier patrons, Soledsnak and bouldergeist. Cannot thank you enough. Pledging on Patreon again means the world to me, so thank you so much for that, and thank you to everyone who has watched my videos and did watch this video until the end. I really do appreciate that as well. Please, again, all your thoughts down below. I will talk to you down below. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for the incredible support, and I hope you have an amazing day.